We owe the existence of obviously the Barge Inn and us being here through what you see here, the Kennet and Avon Canal. It was working boats. They were built here in Honey Street as well. So it was a really lively community all those years ago, and over the years we've actually brought it back to life again, which we're quite proud of.
Adrian and June Potts manage the Barge Inn on the Kennet and Avon Canal at Honey Street near Alton Barnes in Wiltshire.
June and I came to the Barge at Honey Street in '93. The pub itself had been closed and boarded for over 9 months, which was quite sad because it's in such a lovely location. But our previous predecessor had gone bankrupt, and therefore it caused the pub to come into very bad disrepair. And also at that time the canal had only become fully navigable in the previous 2 or 3 years. It was opened officially by Her Majesty the Queen in 1990. So we had a little struggle on our hands to make the pub into something that was attractive to potential customers.
The Barge Inn was purposely built for the Kennet and Avon in 1810. It was completed. It was built to service the bargees. It had a butchery, bakery, brew house, smoke sheds, abattoir. Oh gosh, and it just, and hence the winch room, which we're in now, has got this most wonderful boom, which was to load and offload the barges. We also had a lookout, so that there was a little man obviously employed to go and sit up to see what boats were coming, as to what to get ready for the provision wise, and really that's why we're here today. And we now just sell beer and food, and so still we service barges. As you can see, we have boats moored here and boats pootling along, so it's quite a busy canal now. And so it was a really lively community all those years ago, and over the years we've actually brought it back to life again, which we're quite proud of.
Well, my family's been here over 100 years, and we started the village shop. My grandmother started the village shop with 3 sweet bottles on a little table in the corner and a jar of vinegar, and then we became the village post office and general store, which we have been for really 100 years, I would say.
Alton Barnes, just down the road from the Barge Inn, used to have a thriving village shop and post office, run by Ray Pope and his wife Marie. But from where they once sold newspapers, Ray now has a unique village photo museum.
This is my father, Charlie Pope, with his very first bus, which he was very proud of. You can see that, he stood up there. September the 1st, 1926, trip to South Sea, because that was the only way people could get out of the villages in those days, was by going on bus trips to the seaside or things like that. Barge Inn trip with landlord Tommy Tasker. Now, Tommy Tasker was a great character. I think he looks a bit like a Toby jug, but anyway.
Being native to this part of Wiltshire, Ray and Marie know this landscape well.
We actually delivered newspapers around about 12 or 14 villages all around the area, in which my wife assisted me, and she was, you know, I went one way and she went the other way in the dark. We both, and she was a great help, and half of it really. And I used to go to Marlborough to pick them up every morning, which is a journey of about 8 miles, so that I could get them earlier, about 4:30 in the morning. And lots of people said to me, well, I don't know, you know, I wouldn't like to do that, but I loved it because I saw all the nightlife, the foxes and the badgers, owls and all that sort of thing, and I really enjoyed it, every bit of it.
The most amazing thing about the barge is the diversity of customers. We have people from all walks of life. We have boaters, we have hikers, we have walkers, we have campers with the camp field here. But the most significant contribution to the business has been the crop circle enthusiasts. They come from across the globe.
A keen crop circle artist has covered the entire ceiling of the Barge Inn snooker room with a mural celebrating the mysterious landscape surrounding the pub.
Well, he was Vince Palmer. He lived locally up in East Kennet, and he approached us and said, do you think I could sort of put something on the ceiling? So we said, yeah, fine. And then he sort of had this vision, and he sort of carried on, and he carried on, and 188 hours later, this was the completed thing. We have Avebury, and then behind me we've got Stonehenge, which is over in that direction. Then obviously the barge is in the corner. The Eastfield, which is where the famous DNA crop formation is, that was of 97. And then you've got Pict Hill, Woodbury Hill. So everything's in its correct place. When we were adopted by the crop circle, or the croppies as we call them, we decided to designate this room to them, and so we put up notice boards. So the notice board to just here is all the up-to-date formations of this month and last month. We have a map which is colour-coded for different years, and that shows you in all the area sort of how quite well massed they are. We've got a quite new one across the way, which is actually on the board photographs, which is really quite stunning. The only way to really appreciate them is obviously by air, which you can sort of get right down. So I've seen them from the air, but I've never been in one. There are some, definitely, there is no question that they've just appeared. But obviously there is a lot that are man-made, and obviously we get the what we call circle makers come here as well. And but there are some that's totally unexplained, you know. So yes, I do believe there is, but what actually creates it, I have no idea. But the man-made ones, I mean, the works of art anyway. I think it's a wonderful form of art.
One day I went up round the hill in the morning at 4:20, nothing doing, nothing at all. I admit there was a foggy. When I came back, half an hour, 3/4 of an hour later, the fog had lifted and there was a corn circle in the field. So that makes you wonder, you know, how these things actually do get formed.
Our 10th anniversary, which we celebrated on the 21st of June, which coincided with the summer solstice, was an absolutely huge success, and it was a terrific day and a great celebration for us. But there is a serious decline in pubs. We all read about it in the press every week, that the rural pubs are closing every week. There's hundreds of them throughout the country closing, and it's very sad because, as I said, it's the hub of the community. And having lived in the country, we are very isolated here, and we've lost our post office and general store, but we won't lose this pub.